Alright, I'm just going to be doing a quick roundup of last night's fights, just offering some opinions, where I thought each fighter did well, and where I thought we had a few problems there. First fight last night was Pearce and Kamaka. Pearce came in with a big height advantage, I think he was 6 foot to 5'7", but only an inch or two in reach, so you never really know with that. I mean, the reach is where it's at. But it's, like I say, very high paced kickboxing in the first round. Kamaka was very big on staying on his feet. He wanted nothing to do with Pearce's ground game at all. Every time he got took down, he was giving his back up, which is a very risky move, as we all know. And, well, eventually that did him in the end. I'd say on my feet, Kamaka was having the advantage, but Pearce's takedowns, I think he was 5 for 7, I want to say, which is a very high accuracy rate, which you don't often see. I mean, every time he turns on his back, Pearce looked, he was getting the hits in, he was looking for the chokes, and it was no surprise that he won him late in round two. He was a small underdog in that, I believe, so good for him. Kamaka's was looking very good, but you can't win them all. Okay, moving on to the next one, we've got Evan Smith and Norma Dumont. I hope I'm saying that right. Dumont missed weight in this one. She is a featherweight coming down to bantamweight, which in the women's, I appreciate the weight cuts are a bit different to the men's, and it is a first time, so you can forgive her there. But I mean, 139.5, that's £3.5 over, which to my money, I think that's a bit much. I mean, if it's £1 or £2 over, 30% of your purse to the other competitor, and that's it. If you come in £3.5 over the limit, then bantamweight's not really for you, I don't think. It's like with Mike Perry last week. Did he even try and cut weight? I mean, he must have had a good go, because he looked like he was about best part of 200 going into the fight. I mean, he was easily 190 on fight night. So yeah, I mean, Evan Smith, great leg kicks from the start, and some wrestling defence that we saw, but not a great deal. Dumont was very patient with her striking, and then as soon as she got onto the ground, she knew exactly what she was doing. Very dominant on the ground. I think in round two she had Mount for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and Evan Smith, really, you think she'd be able to book her off, but like I say, Dumont was much bigger on the night. I'd say she was definitely top side of 150, weighing in on, if they weighed in on fight night. So that's that. She did well to hold on in the end. Evan Smith did, to make it to the final bell. But I mean, I don't think anyone had any arguments with a decision on that one, did we? It was a decent fight. I enjoyed it, but I think I'd have liked to see a bit more of Evan Smith on the ground. It is worth mentioning that it was her first fight since February 2019. The commentators were saying she was meant to fight on the London card in March of this year. Obviously, we all know what happened there. That got cancelled. So, apparently she has had a few injuries, which she's been going back and forth with. So how much of a training camp she got is a bit up in the air. But I liked her. She did look strong. And I don't think it, obviously losing someone missed weight, I don't think it hurts her standing too much within the division. And let's face it, you don't need names falling off in the women's divisions, especially the bantamweight and featherweight. There's not a great deal of, and there's not a great deal of numbers up there, is there? Let's be honest. So anyway, good win for Dumont, but like I said, I always feel a bitter taste in my mouth when people who miss weight win. It just doesn't necessarily feel right to me, but that's the way it is sometimes. Okay, moving on to Carlisle Aljo. I liked Carlisle for this one. I really had him to win by stoppage. I thought it was a shame. Don't get me wrong, Aljo is a good fighter, and well, clearly he's a good fighter. He did beat him, as it turns out. But I think the main problem is Carlisle just chased the submissions too much in the first 2 rounds, and I don't think he was ever getting anywhere with him. He was taking him back, going for the chokes. He had top position for a long time, but nothing was ever really going for him on it. So, I mean, in what was it, round two, Aljo, he towards the end he did get reversed, and Carlisle did take top position, but the elbows he was throwing off the ground, it was very Tony Ferguson-esque, and yeah, I liked him in that one, and he definitely deserved to win. I don't think anyone would argue with that. So yeah, this is gonna wrap up part one of this video. Part two will be coming out shortly. So as always, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you think differently to I do, I'd really welcome any comments. It'd be great to have a discussion about it. But tell your friends, tell your neighbours, tell your bloke in the chippy, and please feel free to follow me on Instagram. My handle will be coming up at the top of the screen now, and I hope everyone has a great evening.